Okay. All right. We'll go ahead and begin. This vlog is gonna be kind of short. I wanted to go over with you guys if you had any suggestions on the auction. I'm gonna do free shipping for orders that are over $25. So if you bid and buy at least $25 worth tomorrow, then your shipping will be free. Um, and proper shipping cost me some money to put it in a padded envelope and cardboard and make sure it'll be safe to get to you. Again, none of the cards are graded. None of the cards will have plastic sleeves or anything like that or cases. And they're all like 1990s and 80s cards. Um, and we can do them singly. We could do them, in runs of 5 or runs of 10. You guys tell me how you want it. Um, and you'll have a tracking number for your order. Um, and if you have any suggestions on a better time to hold the auction, that'll be fine. I've just got to make sure it ends at 10 p.m. my time. And it can be early in the morning, anywhere from 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. And so, if you have any suggestions or wishes, let me know. Um, and I'm thinking of starting them at like $2 a card. But like I say, I've got to have at least a $25 order for you to qualify for free shipping. I'm not shipping overseas. I'm not doing Hawaii or Canada, no islands, just the continental USA. Um, and like California to Florida kind of thing, across the states, up and down. Um, and because the shipping's just too high and it takes too long. Hawaii can take 1 or 2 months for it to get there. Um, Canada's a problem because they've got to pay taxes coming over the border, and it may be held up in customs forever. And Europe is just purely insane. I shipped some blush one time, cost me $35 to ship a little piece of blush makeup. Um, uh, and that's just criminal. So, if you're interested, click on the description box below. Go ahead and put your registration into the email so that you'll be ready for tomorrow's auction. Hey, buddy, if you got any suggestions for the auction, I'm going to try to hold one for tomorrow. Uh, if, if there's a better time and you're interested in it, um, I can do it from 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. So if you think that, it's a better time than what I've listed on the upcoming auction for tomorrow, just tell me what you want to do. And what we'll do is we'll just, let the bids roll till they stop on one order. And, just go to the next one. And there'll be like a minimum bid amount. Um, we can do singles, we can do combinations of 5 card, 10 card, 20 card, whatever, but they've got to be at least $2 each for the starting bid, and nothing less than $25 to get free shipping. Otherwise, I got to charge you for shipping, and then everybody pays as they win, and just shoots it over to the PayPal, and as long as everybody registers, I can find out who you are and make sure I, ship to the right person, the one that's paid, and everything coordinates. Otherwise, I don't know who you are. And then if you guys are available, all the wrenches. Let's see, Paranormal Gaming. I need to make you a wrench, don't I? Let me see if I can do it from here. I don't know. Yes. Would you like to be a wrench? You want to be a moderator? Okay. Let's stick you up there. Okay, comment again. Let's see what it does. Let's see if it worked. There it is. Thank you so much. Okay, so what we'll do is we want to try to keep it as clean as we can. In case like kids are watching or something. So, if people are cussing a lot and all that, we got to keep it cool. And if we get, people that are advertising on my channel and not permitted to, spamming with their sex stuff, whatever it is, then you guys get to slam them. I don't care how you do it. If they're throwing all that sex stuff on there and all that weirdness, you can. I don't know if you guys are able to ban them, block them, or what you can do with them. I mean, if they just, the sex dudes, I really want them off the channel. So I don't know how much access you guys have when you're a wrench. But tell me what's a good time you think would be for the auction. I've got it set right now. I can change the time on it. If you think it should be done earlier or later. Really? Okay, well, it'll be up to you guys, because I think Roxanne's a moderator too. She's a he or she's a wrench. And I think Baby and them are a wrench. I made a few people wrench. Now there's one guy that does auctions like every day on YouTube. And then he's also working for Whatnot, but I could have swore it was the same guy that did a vlog about Whatnot, how it was trashy. So I don't get it. But they're probably going for the money, because I really, at this point, I think that sucker's rigged. I think it's shilled and it's rigged, because they're trying to promote it, because they sure don't have much over there. But anyway, I didn't get any emails from them today. I guess they're kind of PO'd. But I will send them a closing email to tell them what I think. And then I'm going to do a review vlog over it, of my experience of attempting to sign up with them. But anyway, I've done auction on my channel before, but it didn't do much. I did some jewelry one night, but I didn't advertise it long enough in advance. This one tomorrow may not even be long enough in advance. But I don't have time to price these cards. It is so much research. I printed 30 pages off twice just to print some cards off. And oh my gosh, it's so much research. Um, and I got them all in storage auction, so I've got like a combination of like 4 sets, and I've sorted some, but none of them are graded. I do have some with autographs. I don't know if the autographs are good or not, but uh, and then I've got uh some that look familiar. I'm not a real big sports fan person. I don't know much, so I'd rather just auction them off and see what they bring. You know, if I get just $2 a card, then I get $2 a card. And people that really want them or think it's something important, then I'm sure they'll bid up. But this one guy, he auctions every day on YouTube, and he's been doing it for like 3 years. And all of his stuff is like auctions on his whole channel. It's really interesting, and they do like 4-hour auctions. Man, that's a long time. And like I was looking at one that they did today that I happened to stumble on, and it did 25 items, okay, or 25, auction lots, but like 5 or 10 Hot Wheels cars from like the 90s, and then did like a book that went for 25, and then a collection of little porcelain Santas, like looking like ornaments and stuff. Got like $30 for it. Some old doll outfit, not even used, that was in the box. And some old comic books and stuff. Yeah, I got a lot. I got a box of them over here. And then I've got an album, and I got stamp collections too. Like really old stamp collections. Um, and he did 4-hour auction today. And the total was $15.40. And he's doing them every day. That's some cool money. That's faster than eBay and Macari, because they're kind of sucking. Um, and I just can't sit here dormant and keep losing money every day and working my butt off for hours and hours and hours playing with it. So, you know, if I can run auctions and sell stuff off, that would be great. You know, get this stuff moved and shipped out and start reducing these storages, so I can get on the road and relocate, you know, because I don't know that I will be staying in this particular area. Um, so I just want to see what the world has to bring. But anyway, got to get the stuff sold. Plus, my office is just wall to wall and hall to hall. I keep dragging stuff in here from the storages, and it's getting deep. But anyway, I've got some really great stuff that had to be run online. That was from the auction storages, and uh, it really needs to be moved. Um, so, and then I've got all my retail stock too. We can do jewelry, we can do shoes, new and used. Um, we can do roller skate accessories. Um, see, jewelry. Um, I have a little bit of comic books. So I got one over here. Let's see what this is. And this one's like, is this sealed? No, it's not sealed in plastic. I don't even know what this is. This is a Marvel comic book. December 8th. I don't know. Let's see. I've never taken it out. It's got a cardboard back to it. Let's see what it is. Parker Brothers. I don't even think they have Parker Brothers anymore. this looks like 1984. Looks like 1984. Either that or that's the ad. Let's see what the print is on this. December 8th, 1984 issue. Whoa. Marvel superheroes. Wow. That's out of an auction storage. I've got some other ones around too. And then we got, like some brand new sports hats. Um, but I've got baseball cards all over the place. Got bunches of them. These cards are, I've got them 80s and 90s. That's basically what most of them are. Um, they're in pretty decent shape. I'm not big, I don't know a lot about all this stuff, but they're pretty decent. Um, this one, let's see what this one is. Trying to see, this is the Orioles. 1996, so I think all these are 96 or something. Because I was trying to sort them out. So I've got tons, just tons. And, I don't know a lot about it. I don't have, well, I do have a little bit of Pokemon that's in the boxes. One that I never opened. That's like 2 years old or something. I do have that somewhere. I've got bicycle accessories new. Um, I've got sunglasses. I've got rhinestone glasses, rhinestone reading glasses, rhinestone sunglasses. All kinds of stuff. Kids' clothes, baby clothes, new movies. Um, Man, I've got lots of movies I got to sort. It's in the storages, like old VHS and stuff like that I need to sell off. Tons and tons of those. Um, and then tons of stripper clothes, stripper shoes, rhinestone jacket hats that I've decorated. Just all kinds of goodies. So, um, you know, we got some VHS tapes. Cool. So, whatever you guys are like particularly interested in, list it on here. And then if you think that, that I should change the time on it, it's up to you guys. Because we can change the time. I've scheduled one for tomorrow. Um, and so we can see where it's at there. I've got to check the scheduling on it, make sure I did it right. Um, but it's already up there. So I think I set it for 1 o'clock tomorrow my time. But if that's crappy time, we can go earlier. We can go later, just whatever you guys want. And The Shining. Oh, are you kidding me? I think I've got 2 or 3 of those actually. Thank you for the thumbs up. Um, yeah, they're going real big right now. That's a big thing. Just like the VHS things, I've got some of those. I've got in storage. I've got to test to make sure they run. The machines. They sell real well. I don't know why. Because a couple years ago, I knew so many people throwing them away, and I'm like, no, don't throw them away. I'll take them. Um, I bought a whole store out and got VHS, the entire store years ago, and I was selling them on eBay all day long. 290 and 400. God, that's what they went for new. As a matter of fact, the first one, I think it was 900 or something, and they were running a big nighttime sale at the RCA store in Oklahoma. And I had a really neat Camaro, 77 Camaro I had bought used. And they told me because I didn't have credit, I had to put up collateral. And I said, well, okay, And so they convinced me to put the car up. It was a local loan company. And so I did that. And boy, that was a scary mess. And that was for like a VCR. And they hadn't just come out, but they were just really gross expensive, you know. And So I got this really nice one and everything. The only bad part was a few years later, my daughter like stuffed her sandwich in there or something. I think it was a tea kettle from her playset, and I couldn't figure out what was wrong with it, and it was messed it up, and it reminded me of that commercial where the kid slid the sandwich in the hole, and I had to take it all apart and all that, and then it broke again, and my neighbor had it and was supposed to fix it. And I never got it back. Um, I looked on your page for the live. It has 2 p.m. Oh my gosh. Do you think that's too late? Should we do it earlier, later? I mean, it's up to you guys what you think we should do. Is that a crappy time? Because it doesn't make any difference. It's kind of up to you guys. I haven't had any people sign up yet through the email. The reason I want to do that is so we can keep track if people are sending payments through PayPal, so we don't get them lost and confused. You know, because we want to make sure we're shipping them to the right people. Uh, and the only kind of name I really need on there for your real name is whatever your nickname, whatever that you like for it to be mailed to, just so we can mail it. Um, if you have to use your YouTube name, use your YouTube name. It doesn't make a difference to me. We just need a good address to mail to. I don't care if it's PO Box, APO, or a physical address. Um, and that way we can get it mailed and do a tracking number on it. Um, so I'm not taking like ID and all that horse crap and phone numbers or any of that. We don't need all that. It's just an auction, you know. So uh I don't want people to be afraid about, giving their info out. So uh we need to get everybody to try to register. So I hope they do. I'll keep checking that email to make sure so I can start documenting everybody. And then that way, that other guy, he makes them all be wrenches, and he won't let them bid otherwise. And I think that's kind of scary. If you start giving all kinds of random people wrenches, for your channel, it could get out of control. I've seen other vloggers do that, and it gets absolutely out of control. So, you have to really trust people to give them wrenches. So, um, but yeah, so I don't know. We'll see if it does any good. I mean, if it's just a total fail, we'll know. Maybe we don't sell anything. Who knows? But yeah, then you don't know who's doing what. Right? You see what I'm saying? I've seen it. In fact, I think that's what happened on Dustin's channel when I was on there. He had so many ranches all of a sudden, and then people were like, I didn't even know about all that timeout stuff and all that, and they were like timing me out for no reason. And Dustin was mad, and I told him, I commented on one of his old vlogs because I couldn't even get through on the regular ones. And I think one of them was Pete. Pete does driving, the DD guy. He's but he is horrible guy. He lied to so many DD drivers, man, with those vlogs. Just horrible. And he does not like me. I got tired of his channel because he'd spend 15 minutes doing all this stupid stuff at the beginning of the vlog, and we can't even get to the important part. And he was just doing it to use up monetization time. And that's bullcrap, man. Just do the vlog. You know, people aren't stupid. But yeah, so um, I think it might have been him or something that kept jacking with me on there, and I just got pissed. So I commented on one of his other older vlogs or something. And I said, I can't even comment on your channel. I'm getting tired of it. Yeah, and I mean, I love Dustin. He used to be Uber 101, and I think it's Dustin is driving. I adore him. He's out of Tampa, and I used to work down there all the time. And he's a taxi driver down there. And it was really horrible. And I was like the cheerleader of his channel. He's just the greatest. And he he apologized, sent me messages and stuff like, I'm so sorry. Must have been a mistake or whatever. And the one day he was promoting Uberman Tampa to try to get him to 1K subs. He had like 250 or something. And he's like, let's get him to 1K subs. Hell, I wish somebody would have done that for me in the beginning. But I turned around and subbed to Everyman Tampa, and I didn't even like him that much. And I subbed to him, and I ended up staying with his channel. Yeah, I ended up staying with his channel, man, cheering him on and stuff. And I rarely would go back. I haven't been back on Dustin's channel probably a year at least. I haven't even thought about it. I should go back, and try to say hi or something. But he was very apologetic over it. But God, I used to watch every single vlog he put out from beginning to end, and comment all kinds of good stuff. And because I really liked him. And so yeah, when you get too many wrenches, and then I watched wrenches on a dive rescue channel. I know the guy on that one, and he started making like tons of people wrenches. And the first time I have heard of him, and he had like 3/4 of the people were wrenches, all of a sudden, and then they were like harassing people while this guy's doing his vlog, and he's not even paying attention to it, and it was horrible. And then he was like going, yeah, and I backed them up 100%. I mean, they were vicious to people, tell them shut up and you got one more chance or you're out, and just, and it was over stupid crap. It wasn't anything real serious, and they were just evil and picking on people, and it was just, I got tired of watching the chat and going to the vlog because it just was so much negativity. It was like, forget it, forget it. I don't need all this. So I haven't watched his channel in a long time, and yeah, if you, and then that Pete driver Pete, whatever it is, for doing all the DD and all those driving apps, he, just about everybody was a wrench, and it was kind of offensive, When I used to go on there and watch it, it was like just everybody was a wrench, and I was like, this is kind of creepy. So I don't know, but this other guy, he gives everybody a wrench if they want to bid, and he has all these requirements and everything. But he's making money, and he's doing one every single day. Can you imagine that kind of money every single day? I mean, he has some interesting stuff. He has like postcards. He buys storage auctions and stuff like that too, and he has like postcards from like the 1900s, and then he's got some old trading cards from like the early 1900s, and he'll have like 25 in a set, and he'll auction that off, and that's what it was today. And then he had like 10 comic books and auctioned that off, and he had some Mattel little Matchbox cars or whatever it is. He had a set of 60s 1960s ones, like a set of 10 in the boxes, and they were used or they just aged, one of the two. And then they showed each one. It was kind of cool while the people were bidding. And then he had another set of like I guess early 2000s Matchbox cars, like 30 of them or something, and in the package, and auctioned those off. I have one auction today that went for 400. He had some old manuals to things like from the 1930s, like a plow, and then some other thing, and just really cute little old manuals, like 3 or 4 page long, with the drawings of this item on the front. It was really cool. And then he had some really old newspaper booklet things. I guess before newspapers came out, it was just like a little booklet from the early 1900s, and auctioned like 10 or 20 of those off in one. It was kind of interesting, and they would start it at a certain price. Like most all the stuff started like $20 or something like that. So it was kind of neat. But I need to go and see his first one and see what that did. Um, but every single one of his vlogs are auctioned. And the Earnhardt Street sign. Let me tell you, I have a friend of mine that collected all that stuff when Dale was still alive. The two Earnhardts were still alive, and he's like, yep, got me some more of this, got me some more of this, and he showed me, and he had like hundreds of stuff, brand new, And he said, these are going to be collector's items one day. I'm like, yeah, sure. And then, the one guy died and the other guy died in the fire wreck or whatever it was. And today, that stuff's probably worth tons. I'll never forget Dave saying that years ago. Yeah, this stuff going to be worth a bunch of money. I'm like, yeah, right. Um, you know, but today it's worth a bunch. It really is. He's probably sold that collection off by now. Because that stuff went really big, after both those guys left. But yeah, well, hell, my uncle's Johnny Cash, and I don't, I don't. They're still selling his records and stuff. I mean, I don't see where they've skyrocketed or anything. I used to have some of his stuff new wrapped up. I really didn't care for his music that much. And when I lived in Oklahoma, people go, "Hi, you got any country music?" I'm like, "Not really. You got any Waylon Jennings?" And I'm like, no. And then I had some new stuff of my uncle's in the bookcase, and people stole it. People would come to my house and they'd steal it, and so like everything disappeared. But it's really sad, and stuff I never even opened. And today you would think it'd be worth a mint, but they're still selling his stuff. So I don't know. It's funny that all the big albums have come back and they're selling record players. That's a crack up, man. They wanted to phase all that stuff out. 8-track tapes was the greatest thing before cassette. Cassettes got snagged up constantly, man. You had to take a pencil. You pull them all out, straighten it out, and you wind up miles of tape real carefully to get it go back in. And then after so many years and the heat in your car, keeping those tapes, then that damn felt thing would fall off. So then you had to find one that somebody was throwing away in the trash or something, so you could peel the felt thing off and glue it on the one that you had so it would play. Otherwise, it sounded like music in a box. Record players? No, with Bluetooth? Oh, that's so funny. Yeah, I remember when they had come out with the stacked ones where you could put like, 10 records. A friend of mine had one of those. It was the weirdest thing I'd ever seen. And, because on a regular record player, you could put like one or two on the top to stack it. And then they come out with this next one where you could put like 10 of them. And he showed me, he said, I got one, it'll play 10. I'm like, no. And showed me that thing where you could stack 10 records on it, big LPs, and it would just continually play. And the next they came out with the ones that went in the cars that were in the trunk. And you could put a bunch of CDs in there or whatever it was. And they would stack it. And but yeah, wild, just wild. But yeah, they're selling them at Walmart. And they started selling them, what was it, 6 months ago? They started coming out with records. And I'm like, so what are they going to do with the records? Nobody sells record players anymore. Then they had like a little kid's record player, like we used to have when I was a kid. And it comes in a little tiny box, like a little suitcase box. And you flip open the latches and you open it up and you pull the cord out and plug it in the wall. And you could play your little records. You like bring it with you to your friend's house. And now they started selling those a couple years ago over at Dollar General, and they're just really expensive. And now they're just selling freaking record players. It's hilarious. Record players and big LPs at Walmart. It is so funny. And but they were like, oh no, we'll phase that out because records are stupid. So then they went to the disc, and the problem with the disc was all the machines they made to play it on. I had a friend who bought a brand new one. He's like, God, it's the neatest thing. I got this little disc thing, you plug it into the wall. It is just great. And, it just has little discs, and instead of big records. And the thing was that it the discs the machine would overheat and then it wouldn't play. They had to do a lot of monkeying around to get that right. So it was interesting. But yeah, so now I loved 8-track because they were so easy to fix and they would run continuously. Where a cassette didn't, they would stop and you had to flip it over, or put reverse or something on it, and they got snagged up constantly. They were such a nightmare. I've always hated cassette. They made me so mad. And I had a bunch of 8 tracks in my other storages that were stolen, and I was so glad to have them because I had bought a big old stereo when I was out by Memphis and put it up in my office, which came down with a poor house that got hit by a tornado, but it was up my office way upstairs. And I was so excited to get that sucker. Really laughed at me when I bought it. I said, "No, man, this sucker got reel to reel record player, and it's got cassette deck, and a lot of the old music you couldn't get was on all that stuff, and so it was really cool." But it came down with a house. I never managed to get it out of my office up there, and the house was really frail after it got hit. And so that upstairs was really creepy to go up there after it got hit. Really creepy. So anyway, uh, you know, that was a big thing, you know, and reel to reel was really cool. Reel to reel went for hours and hours and hours. My dad had so many reel to reel stuff, and uh, that was iconic the way that was done. But they kind of phased everything out, make smaller, whatever, and it just didn't work good. And CDs too. I mean, are still problematic, even though the machines don't overheat anymore. The disc gets screwballed up. Um, and it's not like you can just stuff them anywhere. If they get scratched, they're trashy. You know. Um, so it's interesting how they flipped all the way back to big record albums. It is so funny. Uh, yeah. But anyway, it's just really strange to see all that stuff come back. But I mean, like now the big thing is all the '70s cars. Everybody's really into the '70s cars, and you're going, wow, and I love a lot of the '70s cars. Really, I do. But it's funny, everybody's like fighting over them now. All the people that are restoring cars, it's not the '30s, '40s, '50s cars, it's '70s cars. They want a '70s car before they'll buy a brand new car. And it's cheaper. A fully restored '70s car is so much cheaper, unless it's like, a Porsche 911, then it's like $200,000. I don't know how many DVDs or CDs I have scrapped. Yeah. I mean, they're just so frail. That's what made me mad. I'm like, why are you bringing some junk in? It's just not going to be worth it. And they were so expensive. It was like $20 for one, and it's like, so you get a scratch and you got to go buy another $20 one. God, cassettes weren't even that high. 8 tracks weren't even that high. Albums weren't even that high. They used to have warehouse records. I don't know if you remember that. Warehouse records. I remember they had gone out of business. And I went in there, and I was a kid, and I went in there, I was buying records for $1 on the dollar sale going, this looks good, I'll buy it. You just read all the stuff, I'll buy it. And I had everything. And I used to have huge record collections. When I left home, man, I must have had 400 albums. And I had some that people brought over from Europe, from England for me, and said, hey, you might like this. So it's funny they're bringing it all back. It's really, really funny. And I mean, records can get trashy, but not as bad as CDs. You could still play a lot of records that got scratched or whatever, and stereos would go crazy, and the damn needle would skate all the way across the album and weird crap. Your cat would jump up there and go crazy. Um, yeah, it was wild, but it was always nice to have albums. They were neat. They were really neat. And they come with stuff in them like posters or music books. They were always super neat too, the albums. Big Bamboo came with a giant rolling paper. Cheech and Chong. Yeah, that was the most funniest album. I had one of those. It was hilarious. Um, but they used to always have neat stuff in the albums and stuff and really pretty covers. Um, what was that one? The moon, and it had the rainbow and the moon on it or whatever. And they had some wild covers. Alice Cooper had wild covers. But anyway, so that's where we're at. So if everybody wants to, I got only a few minutes to shut my office down and get gone because I'm under new orders. That ought to be interesting. They have restricted my hours, Um, but anyway, gotta do what they say, you know? So anyway, but you never know, things might change. Um, so anyway, I'll see you guys. I might vlog a little bit later. Otherwise, I'll see you tomorrow. And comment below if you have any better ideas about the timing of, thank you, about the timing of, and thank you for being a wrench on my channel. I appreciate you. Um, but comment below if you think of some different ideas of how we should do the auction or change the time or something. I'm cool with that because I can do it in just seconds, changing the time or whatever. And maybe we'll just run an auction like every day. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. I hope they buy something because I'll be so sad. I'll sell at least $25. I'll be just sad. Gotta make it right. Um, there's a lot of interest in baseball cards. I don't have time to research that stuff. And I'm sure when people see them, they'll know if it's, worthy of them to, bet on it or whatever. But anyway, I love you guys. Thanks so much. I got to exit stage left. I only got a couple minutes. I got to go because there's video cameras everywhere and I don't want to get in trouble. I love you. Talk to you later.